Hello, beautiful beings. I actually have a video uploading right now, but something else was coming in that they said they just wanted me to make a separate video about. And that is how much we admire a person that is going through an incredibly difficult time where the mind is just the reason for the mental activity. And just help this flow through, please. Where the situation is making the mind go fear, 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 just drowning in fear, fear-based thoughts. It's just going out to the future, like the what ifs, but it all feels so real. It feels like it's so legitimate. Well, how could I possibly not think like this? These are things that could actually happen. But the trick is, and we're not saying that those things, won't happen. Maybe they will, but they're not happening right now. And so the trick to I don't even know if that's the right wording. The practice that is absolutely imperative for one's survival to get through a difficult situation is to do whatever it takes to release the resistance that the mind has you gripped in, to turn our attention away from all the thoughts that seem like a fact. And that's one thing the mind says is, but this is a legitimate concern. Well, yes, it is. But has there been one day of worry, one moment of worry that has ever changed anything or made anything better? No, never. Worrying is never productive, even though it seems like it's just absolutely unavoidable and legitimate. So I really, really admire people that are at least trying to turn their attention away from those thoughts, because I know how hard it is. 100% has been my experience. I used to be fully identified with the thoughts that would I'd be on the floor sobbing. That's how I was being slayed by my mind, because I didn't know how to turn my attention away from those thoughts, because it seems like they are just there. They're there. It doesn't seem like there's any space that can be had in between those thoughts and myself. But there is. There's definitely space. And one person that I listen to, Samanari Jayasara, I've put her in my description box before and posted her on my community page. The things that she reads and her voice, her energy, all is just, she's coming right from presence. So I just I feel like if a person is having an incredibly hard time getting away from their thoughts, well, presence is the ultimate hiding place, because we can't think more to get away from our thoughts, because that's just more thinking. The only way to make the mind more quiet in its natural state of being is to turn our attention back to presence, back to our natural state of being. So that takes having a guide and also a certain amount of willingness to go, oh, well, desperation also, the gift of desperation. Yes, those three things right there. I mean, I can talk to somebody that is being slayed by their mind, and if they aren't desperate for help, then they're just going to be coming from their mind and bombarding me with all the reasons why what's coming through for them won't work, because they're just not at that place. They're not ripe yet. They haven't gotten desperate enough yet. But Ocean has, my mother. She has gotten desperate enough because she was just going through something, and she had the courage and the desperation to listen to Samanari Jayasara and do whatever else, talk to people, cocoon, go in and just, yeah, I'm just in awe of you, because what you just went through recently, so many people would have just went, well, this is just how it is. No, there's no getting away from it. But you don't do that anymore. The mind had you in its grip for a while, but I know I could feel, even though we weren't talking a whole lot through it, I could feel that you were able to release resistance at times. And that's incredibly helpful. For the outcome, they're saying also to be able to turn our attention away from something that we're really afraid about, really, really helps with the outcome. And to actually be able to get an answer that comes from the outside, because what we resist will persist. Because so much resistance when we're in mental fear, well, fear is mental. When we're in like agony just from being immersed in fear, all fear thoughts, it literally holds the answer at bay. And that can feel very, very, very frustrating to know that. Because it's like, well, that's all I need. I need this answer to come in from the outside so I'll feel better. But the divine wants us to dive inside, because that's where all the answers come from. Even though they seem like they're coming from the outside. So they're saying that being able to navigate a very fearful situation and being able to release resistance, not the whole time, but from time to time throughout that thing, what were you just saying? Helps us outgrow that feeling of desperation. Yeah, one of the useless personal ways that we've been conditioned. Yeah. So it may seem like it's just another shitstorm, but it's actually a very, very potent lesson and a deep shedding of the conditioning of the persona that we don't need anymore, the persona that's being shut off. And as I was watching Ocean go through this for the last several days, I knew the Lionsgate portal was here. I knew that she was going through yet another super deep shedding. And I also knew that she would come out the other side. And she has. She came out today. And, just, we couldn't be more proud of you. Ocean is an awakened being also, and going through her ascension process, she knows how to, since she has access presence, since she had her remembrance moment, she actually had it with Eckhart Tolle, a video that I sent her. She was just like, I don't know. I said, how did you like that video? And she said, this was a couple years ago now. And she said, I don't know. It was different. And I said, what do you mean? What do you mean it was different? And she started describing it, and yeah, I mean, there's no greater gift than to have somebody actually remember. And to have my mother remember? Wow. But I also knew it was going to get a little bit rougher for her. I didn't tell her that. But, the greatest gift of remembering who we really are, our natural state of being, it tends to shake things up. It tends to loosen up who we're not, so the divine can prune it away. So, but she's been so incredibly diligent on her growth and never ever gives up. So, yay! And also, she will never ever have to come back if she chooses to reincarnate. She will never ever have to come back as an unconscious being, born into a difficult family or any of those lessons that we come when we come onto planet Earth, being reincarnated again. We sign up for certain life lessons before we come here, and that's my deepest knowing. And we sign up for all of it for our highest growth. But it's going to be different for so many of us because so many of us are remembering. And I would say, waking up, that's another way to say it for sure. But we are already awake. It's just the illusion that we are this person that has eclipsed us in a way and made us feel like we're not awake. And then when the awakening happens, when the remembering happens, it feels like this person is waking up. And they are, in a way. This persona is waking up in a way. Because I just asked them to please expound on that, because as the ascension process goes on and more of the useless personal conditioned identity falls away, then what's coming through this physical form is a much more pristine expression of the divine, which is a human being. Still a persona, but not a whole bunch of useless crap. a way more clear, open channel, and a lot less ideas of what we want and what we need and how life should be and judgment, and I mean, it goes on and on. It's such a relief to be able to let go of all that baggage, resentments, guilt, insecurity. Yeah. It takes a lot of bravery also, they're saying, to do the work that it takes to see that there is space between ourselves and thoughts. But desperation is really really the main ingredient. And willingness. Yep. I asked the ancients several years ago, if I had a title, what would it be? And I listened, because it's always so exciting to ask them something and then just listen. I feel that praying is asking and listening is meditating. But also meditation, that's a really good way to start learning how to meditate, is by turning my attention inside and listening. But turning my attention to presence, there's no actually any physical thing that's going on at all, any type of physical function that I'm focused on or giving my attention to. So when I asked them, if I did have a title, if somebody said, well, what are you? Like, what do you do? What's your title? What would it be? And they said, you are a being doula. Oh, yeah. Yep. I think that's it for now. If you would like to, if you feel incredibly desperate and you would like a guide through the ascension process, we would love to be that for you. It'll just take us a few minutes to know if we are qualified to be able to help you, but it doesn't hurt to try. Satsang is free, and it always will be. I do take donations, but I will never charge for satsang. Satsangwithmamag@gmail.com. We love you so much.